Welcome to Burning the Edge. We would like to welcome to the T our host, Mr. Arthur Miller Jr.
We want to welcome Derek Nicholson, and our regular guy, Jeff Carter. Welcome Derek Nicholson to the T. Division 1 player for the Amateur Players Tour. Just recently was at Stream Song down in Florida, playing those lovely courses down there. Welcome to the T, Derek. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing pretty good, man. First of all, man, the way we like to get started here is always, man, ask everyone, how did you get to the game of golf?
Well, so my grandfather, when I was about, I want to say 6 months, 8 months, my mother made him watch me, and he just wanted to go play golf. So he strapped a car seat to the golf cart, and there I was, hooked from 6 months old and on. He said, I might have to watch you, but we're going to the golf course to do it. So I was hooked ever since.
Wow.
That ain't bad. So you played all the way up through high school and college?
Yeah. I played junior golf, high school, college. Thought about trying to do the professional thing once in my life, but I realized real quick that your best stuff still ain't good enough. So decided to get amateur status back, and I learned real quick. It was about 6 months. I was like, no, this isn't for me. So got my amateur status back and just played, amateur stuff since, and got hooked up with APT and kind of just done that since.
So did you play golf week?
I did for a few years, yes.
For a few years? Okay. Yeah. Where did you grow up at?
So I grew up in Athens, Alabama. That's where I from second grade on, that's where I was.
Okay.
North Alabama.
Okay.
And other than that, it's been Nebraska, Midwest kind of thing. Kind of a hybrid.
Cool, man. So you are the chapter owner of the Atlanta chapter, right?
Yes, Atlanta and Birmingham.
In Birmingham. Yeah, you and Tim Harvey.
My man, Tim Harvey.
I rode with Tim a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
He was my partner in Jonesboro.
Yeah. Tim's awesome. He's my best friend in life, and I really wouldn't do this without him. So.
Yeah, Tim, cool, man.
Yeah.
We played together a few times. Yeah. So what, do you stay in Birmingham?
I actually live in Huntsville.
Oh, okay. So how far is that to Atlanta?
So depending on where we are in Atlanta, we can get to some parts in about 2.5 hours and other parts about 4 hours. So it just kind of depends on the location of where we're going that weekend.
Okay.
A lot of travel time.
Yeah, I see, man. So how did you become the chapter owner?
So Tim and I were talking, and we had ideas to do some stuff in South Alabama, and then Matt Bender and Jody called us. We're going to talk to them one night about opening up the South Alabama chapter, and then Matt and Jody called, and they called me and said, "Hey, we got a different plan for you. You got a minute to call. You got a minute to chat." I was like, "Yeah, that's fine. Let me call Tim real quick. Let me get him on here," because like I told them from the get-go, I wasn't doing it without Tim. There was no way I was doing this on my own. And so I got Tim on the horn, and then probably within 30 seconds of the phone call, Matt and Jody said, "What do you guys think about Atlanta?" I was like, "Well, one, it's closer. Two, there's a million more people in Metro Atlanta than there is in the South. I mean, you're talking 7 million people just in Metro Atlanta. So this is a hotbed for tournament golf, as long as you can figure out the market." And we just hit the ground running, and all of a sudden we're up to 155 members in Atlanta.
Wow.
That is crazy, man. I knew y'all were going to do it, though. I knew Atlanta was going to jump off. It has no other choice. It's just too many people for it not to.
Yeah, when you have 7 million people in a condensed area, you just have to do it right, and you just have to treat people right. And once the word gets out, it just multiplies.
Absolutely, man. I know y'all treat people right because I played down there, and like, it's y'all take care of your people down there.
Yeah, that's the only reason why we do this, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You being basically a scratch golfer, or would you say you're scratch?
Yeah.
You say, what's your handicap right now, you think?
On tour, it is right at 0.
Dang.
Gin maybe +1. I don't know.
Okay. Does it bother you to play with guys like us?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'll tell you what. So as a chapter owner, a lot of times what I try to do, if it works out, sometimes it doesn't work out, but I want to play with everybody because one, I think the lower level guys like that. And, I'm not running these golf tournaments to play golf all the time. And I mean, it's good to have that there and to be able to play golf whenever you want and do this and that. But the amount of people that I've met by doing this and playing different golf courses with different people, I couldn't ask for any more. And any chance that I get to play with, a Division 4, Division 5 guy, I am, and Tim will tell you the same thing. I am right on it because that's what I want to do.
Gotcha. I ask because, sometimes you get, if you just go out playing just casual golf, say not tournament golf, like there's this area here where I live called Hot Springs Village. There's 8 courses. And so if you go out there by yourself or go with a twosome, you're going to get paired up with people, And so I always wonder, and I don't know if I've really ever been paired up with anybody like, say, a scratch golfer, but I've been paired up with some dudes that are pretty good.
Yeah.
And especially back in the day when I was very bad, but I was like, man, I wonder if these dudes are like, Lee, I wish they had paired me up with somebody that knows how to play golf. Which I don't hold people up. I always, even when I was horrible, I would not hold you up. I'd pick my ball up. But I always thought maybe scratch golfers would rather just play with more, just when they're having fun. I know in a tournament you don't have a choice sometimes, but I always just assumed they'd rather play with people of their same skill level.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends on that person. I mean, some want to just, even some, D5 guys just want to play with D5 guys. And I get it. I understand it.
Sure.
But, what I'm trying, what golf has given me in my life, I'm trying to make sure that anybody that I interact with has the same possibility through golf that I did. I mean, I've played some, high level amateur golf and whatnot. And, giving that experience to everybody, you're on the tee box for a Division 5 guy and announcing their name on the first tee. You have no idea how many times someone has come up to me and says, "Y'all made me nervous on the first tee."
Yeah.
Like, well, when you're playing high level golf, that's what you get. And that's what we're all about.
Yeah. I went to Nashville last year and I was just glad they didn't have people watching and lined up, on the tee box. I was like, I'm going to be that dude, man. I'm going to cut one right here and catch a guy. How the caddies and the pros say, hey, move over just a little bit. No, buddy, you need to go to the next fairway. Don't move over a little bit. Get over on number 9, buddy.
Get to the big news that we had yesterday on the PGA Tour. I just want to get your opinion, your thoughts on it. So let me ask you this. What were your thoughts before yesterday about Live Golf? Do you watch it? Yeah, about Live Golf. Do you watch it?
So I haven't really watched it because, the time's already being run thin. And the only time I really watch golf is the Masters and US Open. That's about the only time I'll sit down and watch. Mm-hmm. But I think team golf needs to be incorporated somehow, some way into golf on a more consistent basis rather than just the Ryder Cup and President's Cup and Solheim Cup and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I think that the idea of it is right. Now on the other end, you're just talking about where's the money coming from. Mm-hmm. That's the only other thing. But then you also look at it this way. If you get a job offer, is the first question you ask is where's the money come from? I don't think it is. So you can't fault the guys for doing it because they're just looking out for themselves. And I can't fault them. I'm not mad at them or anything like that. But I think it is kind of shady what the PGA Tour did yesterday. I think that's probably more alarming than the Live Golf Tour itself.
I feel bad for the guys that turn the money down.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about guys that like Rory. He don't, which I'm not a man to judge how much money somebody needs, but I'm pretty sure he don't really need any more. I think he'll be able to make his car payment, But there's probably some guys, me and Arthur was talking one day. Let's just say, I don't know, a guy that's, what do you think, Derek? That's like ranked number 70 or so.
Mm-hmm. That's those borderline guys.
Yeah, there you go. And he don't make a lot of, he makes some cuts, don't make some cuts, got a lot of expenses.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like really like in tune with the PGA Tour. But they may have offered a guy like that what? I mean, they're throwing out money. I mean,
Yeah, they're ridiculous amounts of money.
So they probably offer a guy like that 20 million or so.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and then the guy turns it down and says, "No, I really want to stick with PGA, this, that, and other." And then here we are today. I mean, man, I'd be salty about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would be different, I guess, if the Jay, what's his name, wouldn't have made all the comments he made.
Yeah,
Either.
Monahan.
Yeah, he
it's just
out on a broken limb.
Yeah, it's a bad look. I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think the PGA Tour is going to squash it out anyway, and do their own team golf thing, and it's not going to be live golf. It's going to be something that the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour handle. But when live golf came out, if you put where the money comes from on the side, team golf needs to be in golf. I would rather play team golf than individual golf because you're part of a team.
So how does that work, Derek? I never understood what they were doing with the team golf. It was the Everett tournament.
Yeah, they do.
Golf?
They do some. They do it weird. Like the first round, they count 2 out of the 4. The second round, they count 3 out of 4. And the last round, they count all 4 scores or something like that for the team. And they do some individual stuff as well. But I mean,
but could you still win the tournament as an individual?
Yeah, they still have individual stuff.
So
and the amounts of money they were throwing out was just absolutely absurd.
So the team part of it is like inside the same tournament?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the double dip, kind of like kind of like that. Okay.
Yeah, but they're playing for $4 million a pop, not a $30 a head.
Yeah.
It's like a blind 4-ball. I think we did it at Paynes Valley last year, where you get paired with a person in a blind draw, and y'all basically on a team, but you don't know who it is until after the rounds everything is over.
But actually, you know who your team is, right?
Right. Because me and the guy I ended up playing with last year, I ended up winning like one of those project suitcases and something else. And I
was on a team. I was on the same kind of deal at Annbriar last year. And
I wonder if they're doing it this year. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Matt does it at all the national majors.
Okay.
I was supposed to win some little fancy thing to carry your scorecard in, and Matt said, "Well, I'll mail it to you." And here we are a year out. I don't know. Just want to give the old boy a call.
Yeah, you might want to check on that.
I want my scorecard keeper, Matt.
So you're playing, and you don't play. Y'all play every now and again on the Atlanta tour and the Birmingham tour.
It just depends on how many we have, and if Tim and I are both there, we typically play. One thing we've done a little bit different this year is that running 2 chapters instead of 1. We've got some hands that help us out that kind of help with that. So like this weekend, Tim's going to go to Atlanta and run that event, and I'll be in Chattanooga with Suns baseball, and we got some hands in Atlanta that are helping out. So we're able to still give the experience that we would as if Tim and I were both there. We can give that experience with just one of us there and still play now because we've decided that, hey, it's worth it for us to pay somebody a little bit of money to come out and do some of that, and then us still enjoy playing golf with our members, because at the end of the day, that's we're competing and all that, but our members want to talk to us and communicate with us, and it's a good way for us to, hey, what can we do better to serve you guys? And that's when we get a lot of feedback, is when we're actually playing with them.
Right. So what are you looking forward to in the tournaments this year where you're gonna play other than stream song?
Well, if we can go stream song every weekend, count me in. Let's see, we got the Shoals next weekend. That's going to be a good one. I think I'm going to go to Sequoia National for the Stableford in July. Pretty much, other than that, the North American Championship after that, it's really kind of, it's the meat of the tournament director schedule, where you're running events and, throw 2 chapters on it. We're running events every weekend right now.
Yeah.
So getting away to actually play golf in the middle of summer is hard to do. That's why Tim and I kind of, we play a lot early and a lot late.
Yeah. Cause y'all have events sometimes on the same weekend, one in Birmingham on Saturday and then another one in Atlanta or vice versa, on Sunday.
Coming up here the first week of August, we have a Monday event in Atlanta. And then we have a Saturday event the same week in Atlanta and a Birmingham event on that Saturday. So we have 3 events in 1 week.
Wow. Y'all doing it though, man. Y'all making it happen, man. I'm happy for y'all getting to that 150 mark. That's a big number, and I know it's not going to do anything but grow even more. I mean, because y'all putting the work in. So are y'all doing a Ryder Cup this year?
I'm not 100% sure on that one just yet.
Okay.
Our Ryder Cup last year was a last minute thing, and we put it together with Tennessee East. This year, not sure.
Okay. So yeah, but we were talking about the team events. I know how much a lot of the guys enjoy that event because it's a team event. Everybody from Birmingham against whoever. Y'all were playing against Tennessee East last year. Mm-hmm. That's always fun.
Yeah, just listen to everybody talk to each other, and it's competitive and fun, and everyone's sticking around, seeing who's going to win. Be able to take a picture with a $40 cup that we have, but it means so much to everybody.
It does,
and especially last year after the work that Tim and I did in Atlanta to get to that point, and being able to field a Ryder Cup team and have our main members that we recruited for that, for the first year, to have them there to enjoy that and experience it with everybody. It meant a lot, and it was very well worth it.
Absolutely, I know it was, man. So. Y'all, what do y'all have coming up in Atlanta that's like any exclusive courses or
so we've got a couple of private courses coming up. Chapel Hill is in July 15th, I think it is. When if I'm wrong on the date, I'm sorry. There's a tournament somewhere every weekend, so
it's kind of hard to keep up.
Yeah,
I know.
It's hard to keep up. Then Woodmont Country Club, that's a Monday event we got coming up in August. That's a really, really good golf course. Our local finals in Atlanta is going to be at Bridge Mill Athletic Club. That's another one that's a top-notch golf course to play. Mainly we try to stick our private courses in fall and in the early February timeframe, because it kind of helps the private clubs and build that rapport with those golf courses.
Right.
We did Governor's Town Club. You came over for that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I came over for the Governor's Town Club. That was fun. It was a nice course too. Yeah, it was some nice houses around there, and I never forget. I think I was telling somebody, and one of those houses, you driving up on the fairway, and we was driving up to the tee box, and you look to one side and you see this house that's probably worth $4 or $5 million. Then you look over there and it's like, is that what it's a trailer park over there. And I'm not talking about a nice trailer park. I'm talking about, like a Sanford & Son trailer park over there. It's like, man, I know they mad in the mud looking across there from the fairway. Like, I got to look at that crap every day over there. Yeah. I know they've tried to buy them out. I know they have, because ain't no way I look across there from those houses and be like, man, that's some garbage over there.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, yeah. But man, I know y'all got Ballantrae coming up, I think, too, right? In Birmingham.
Yeah, that's then
I don't know how to say it right. Is it Ballantrae or Ballantrae? Something like
Ballantrae.
That. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what, if y'all I need to know ahead of time when y'all go to Limestone Springs. Because that's a nice course.
Local final.
I wish I could get down there for that. I'm not ready to get down there for that, but I like that course, man, and I would love to play it again. I'll get back down there to it, though.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Jeff, you got anything coming up, man, you excited about? I know.
Well, I got that special invite into Branson, so I'm pretty.
Oh, yeah, you did get the invitation for that, yeah.
I sure did.
Got off their waiting list. You tell them folks the waiting list matters.
I jumped off that waiting list.
Yeah.
But I'm supposed to be coming to your place here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, coming down to play Miramichi.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake's old spot.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in good shape.
Yeah.
From what I'm hearing. Derek?
It couldn't be any worse than where I played last weekend. It just can't be any worse, buddy. I'm just telling you.
I'm gonna tell Larry.
Yeah, I hope Larry watches this. Lift, clean, and place, and they hadn't had rain in a month. I said, "Is it really that bad out there wet?" They go, "No, it's rocks." Yeah, I said, "Rock? What in the world are we doing?" Like, man,
I told you we had to do live clean in place too, man. But they punched the fairways on us. Nah, it wasn't rocks. They punched the fairways on us the Friday before the Saturday we playing. I'm like,
see, the problem we've had in Atlanta, and especially Atlanta, it rains so much during the winter that the golf courses are still struggling right now to get everything, back up. But
a lot like that around here too. A lot of dead grass.
So much rain this winter.
Yep.
Hey, Derek, let me ask you this.
Okay.
You being a scratch golfer and all. So people like me and Arthur. So it took me forever. I didn't start playing really like serious golf till I'm 50, about to be 56 in a few days, but probably not until I was probably in my mid 30s, maybe late 30s. And then I took off for a while because I coached my boys in AAU basketball every summer. So really probably got real serious about 8 or 9 years ago. So I just wanted to break 100. So I break 100. Then I just like wanted to break 90 so bad. Then I start breaking 90. I've only busted 80 twice. But besides saying, get golf lessons or swing this way, swing that, what would you tell somebody like us that's got a dream of breaking 80 or at least getting in the low 80s consistently? What's the one thing you would work on to do that?
Anything and everything inside 100 yards.
Yeah, I knew you was going to say that.
Anything and everything.
You were going to say that. I suck at that.
Just look. I mean, just look at how many shots do you hit inside 100 yards on average in a round.
Hey, Derek, I try to lay up to 120 every time, and I lay up to 65 every time. I go, well, here you go, buddy. It's either going to be way short or it's going to be way long.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, once you get into 100 yards, if you can tell yourself that, especially D5 guys, D4 maybe, if you're at 100 yards, if it's you hit your second shot there, you're hitting 3. If you can tell yourself from 100 yards that I can get into the hole in 3 shots from here, you're gonna be in contention most of the time. But you just have to tell yourself that and practice that because you can be at 110 yards, then all of a sudden you flub one. And then you're mad, and then you hit one short, then you're getting double mad, and then you skull one over the green, then all of a sudden you make a 7, and you just wasted 4 shots for no reason.
Yeah. What do you play with inside, say, 80, 60, something? You would play a 60 degree?
No, I do not have a 60 degree. I haven't had a 60 degree since I was probably 14 years old because I thought it was cool.
So what do you hit from those yardages?
So basically anything inside of 80 yards, 85 yards, maybe 90, depends if it's the middle of summer. I hit 58 for everything inside of that.
Really?
Just because that's how I grew up playing golf. I played in a style country club where you had to know how to hit the ball in the air. You couldn't run it up and everything was lush and you had to play that game. So I don't change who I am on a golf course. I force it, and that's probably gets me in trouble sometimes, but that's just what I do.
Is a 58, is that close to a gap wedge?
No, it's pretty much a lob wedge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gap wedge around 50.
I'm sorry. I mean,
Gap wedge around 50. Then you just kind of go up from there, 52, 54. It really depends on your gapping. That's how you're supposed to do your wedges. Gap them out about 4 degrees. It just depends. 4 or 5 degrees, depending on how many other clubs you have in your bag.
Absolutely. Then another reason why I do that is when Tiger Woods was in his prime, there was a bunch of interviews that asked the same questions. What club do you use inside 100 yards? And he said that every single shot he tries to hit is with his 54-degree wedge, and he doesn't change it when he was in his prime. I mean, it may be different now because he's older, he's made of metal and all that stuff now. But I remember that conversation, that interview that I heard him say that. And I was like, that makes a whole lot of sense. That's and honestly, the 58-degree wedge, you can ask Tim if I miss a green, they're like, yep, just put par down. I mean, because I've practiced it when I was in high school and college because that's where you save all your strokes. Now I don't practice, and it gets sketchy from time to time. But the more I play, the better it gets sometimes.
Can you tell? Well, you hadn't hit a 60 in a while, I guess. But is there a big difference between a 58 and a 60?
Um,
Do you?
yeah. I mean, you see more grooves on it. It just kind of to me, it looks like it's laying flat. And I think the ball's going to hit me in the forehead when I hit it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I play with a 60. That's why I'm kind of being nosy. But
yeah, I'm really not the one to ask about a 60 because I've never. I mean, like I said, I only used it because I thought it was cool when I was a teenager.
I've actually heard some pros say that an amateur golfer shouldn't have anything that high of a loft on it. Shouldn't have a play with a 60. Mm-hmm. That's just, to me, like if I could get in 100 yards, I would probably be a scratch golfer. Because my short game is not my issue. It's getting off the tee for me. Every time I look at my Arcos after a round, it's always penalties off the tee hurt me so bad.
Well, you know how to fix that, right?
I do know how to fix it, but I'm hard-headed. You want to hit the driver. You want to hit the driver and stuff like that instead of...
Did Tim Harbin get on this podcast? That's exactly what he would say.
I know it. We it's crazy, man. It's like you ought to been to learn your lesson by now. But I think I have though. I don't know. We'll see. We're gonna see what I do this weekend. It really just depends on the course and see what the yardage is and stuff like that.
And then after you check the leaderboard every hole.
Nah, I'm not doing that. Yeah. I'm gonna send you an update after Saturday. I'm gonna be like, Derek, I shot that 85.
Let's go.